must have happened, now I come to think of it, was I put the tin in my shopping bag by mistake. My shopping bag was in the trolley, see? And I wasn't looking where I put the tin. Now, that's a mistake anybody could make, isn't it, Sergeant?
Yeah, that's right, Maggie. A mistake anyone could make. But not 8 times in 12 months. You must have more tins of salmon at home than John West. Where's Ackland?
In the waiting room, Sarge. Taking a statement from the store detective.
Couldn't have to with a cup of rosy, love. I'm spitting feathers.
Me too, Maggie. Me too. This way.
It's a bit of a rush of kids, isn't it?
Don't worry about it. It's only just started.
But I'm not too late.
Quiet, please! Oh, you're not helping yourselves, you're not helping me. No, please, let me continue. Now, Mr. Brownlow, Mr. Galloway, there are about 200 youngsters living on our estate. Out of that 200, 30 are known heroin addicts. 2 have already died as a result of drugs overdoses. 1 found in a public lavatory, the other one dumped outside the hospital gates. It's a situation that if it was to...
Let's have some action, not bloody words. They're killing our kids out there, don't you understand? And what are the police doing about it? Sweet FA.
We are as concerned about the increase in heroin abuse as you are. But let me say right away that you, as ordinary members of the public, as parents, have an equal responsibility. This is not a war confined to your estates. It's a national and international
Yeah, but what you done about it? I mean, what have you done?
In this division, we've had considerable success, I might add. In the last 3 months, we have made 23 arrests for possession of heroin and 16 for supplying. This has been achieved as a direct result of criminal intelligence and, of course, information supplied by your association.
But that's the users you keep nicking. That's our kids. They're not your pushers. Don't you understand? That's what we're getting at.
What we are saying, Mr. Brownlow, is that we have furnished you with the names and the addresses of the pushers. But these same people are still walking the estate, still supplying drugs.
That's simply because the amount of heroin found in their possession is not of sufficient quantity to justify a charge of supplying. This, of course, weakens the evidence when it comes to court.
I'm sorry, but I've listened to this long enough. You carry on about us not doing our job, not nicking the pushers, but it's your kids. Most of your kids are doing the pushing, financing their own addiction. Rubbish. It's not rubbish. The people who we need are the ones who are supplying your kids. Now, I'm sure some of you sitting there know where that heroin's coming from. Maybe even a couple of you know who the real dealers are. Maybe you're frightened to say, I don't know. All I can say is, confide in each other. Come to a decision, let us know, then we can really do something about this problem. Only don't leave it too late. Because every hour that goes by, another kid gets hooked. The ball's in your court, gents, ladies. You know what I'm talking about.
Thank you, Roy. Well, I think this will be an opportune moment to break for tea and biscuits.
And they're all bigger than that. I reckon she fancies me. I mean, I know she comes from the valley and all that, but, you know, no one's perfect, are they?
You know what they say about Welsh girls, don't you?
No, what do they say about Welsh girls?
In the marketplace, shrewd. In bed, frantic.
Yeah, well, I hope she's more frantic than you are, boy.
Oh, no, what's occurring here? Highview Tenants Association.
No idea.
Come on, let's go down a cab. At least we get better service down there.
Discuss it as calmly as possible. Thanks.
Yes, well, I'm sorry they got a bit unruly at times, Mr. Brownlow, but it's understandable. They're worried parents.
It's a pity we couldn't have got together before like this. Inspector Galloway says every hour that passes, some of the youngster gets introduced to heroin.
Well, we've done what we can. We've given you the names of the pushers, where they live, where they hang out. I mean, they may not be the top people, but at least it's a start. And you know, if there's anything I can do, you only have to ask.
Listen, Tombo, you and I both know where the pushers are getting their smack from, so don't give us the runner. And if you're scared, say so.
If I knew, don't you think I'd tell you?
Gentlemen, let's keep it calm. Inspector Galloway, you're out of order.
Out of order, am I, sir? Well, let me tell you with respect, I'm the only one that seems to know what's going on in this manor. You want to know where that smack's coming from? I tell you. Decker's Club. How about that?
Decker's?
The old cinema?
Yeah, the old cinema.
You never mentioned this before, right? I know in the past it used to be an illegal drinking club. That was years ago. We raided it so often they packed up and disappeared.
Well, they've started up again, and this time they're into drugs.
Decker's? Harry Decker's back in town? I can't believe it.
You better, my old son. That's where the action is.
If that's true, we're going to have a hell of a job getting in there.
Not if we had an inside man.
Oh, no, not me. I haven't been mixed up with that firm for years.
You'd be just the man.
But you can't ask me, man. I've got a family that got me throat.
I understand, Mr. Robertson. Inspector Galloway shouldn't have asked you.
You were once a member. You're the ideal man.
Yes, but that was years ago when it was a drinking club.
Come on, you and I both know it's more than a drinking club, Tombo.
But I don't mix up with them kind of people no more. Can't you understand what I'm telling you?
Listen, Tombo. If you want your kids to stop being poisoned, you get me and my men into Decker's Club and we'll cut off the supply. Then we can start from scratch. It'll give us the chance we need. What do you say?
Only you and Mr. Brownlow to know.
Got yourself a deal.
It's something that can be done.
She left the checkout point, yes.
And proceeded to the exit doors, where I stopped her.
Sarge, this is Miss Newnham. She's the store detective at Hartfield Supermarket.
Yes, we do know each other, don't we? The company prosecuting, are they?
Oh, it's company policy, no matter how little the value or the circumstances of the offender.
Add that to the end of the statement, will you?
I can see you're not very happy about that.
Oh, I'm always happy, Miss Newnham. I just want the magistrate, the public in the gallery, the press. I just want them to know that it is your company's policy. A deterrent, you see. So when you've signed that, I can go and charge her.
Right, Miss Newnham, would you sign there, please?
You shouldn't have done it, Roy. There's all kind of complications. I mean, what if he gets sussed out, beaten up, or even worse, eh? What then? You've put me in a very difficult position, Roy. Decker's of all places. Why the hell didn't you come to me in the first place? Give me the information. It makes me look as if I don't know what's going on in my own division.
Cheers.
How long have you held back this information, Roy?
I haven't.
What do you mean you haven't?
It's an educated guess, that's all.
Am I hearing right?
Only heard Deckers has started up again today. Illegal drinking, ponces, pimps, that sort of thing. Up to her old tricks. You remember the scene, don't you?
And you've put an inexperienced undercover man in on an educated guess?
Tombo will be all right, as long as he does as he's told.
I'm concerned! When's he going to be in touch with you again?
He's gone home to change. Then he's going straight there. Renew old friendships. He's going to ring me tomorrow morning about 9. Then we'll know. There's nothing to be concerned about.
Well, I hope for your sake that nothing goes wrong, Roy.
If we're in business, I suggest we don't waste any time. I'll get a warrant as soon as I know for sure. You're worrying about nothing.
Why can't I have a cup and saucer like everybody else? I remember the time when you could get a decent cup of tea in this nick.
Safety regulations, Maggie. But in your case, they'd probably frighten you to have the cup into your bag and have it away on your toes. Right, Miss Newman, you'd like to check that through for me? Sign it there.
Oh, not you again, Maggie. Salmon?
What else?
Do you know something? You must have more tins of salmon at home.
Yeah, she's heard that one. Yeah. What can we do for you?
I might have a job for you tomorrow. I want your lads on standby. I'll tell you what it's all about later. Get the girls to bring in some civvies and Lincoln can wear those clothes he wears. It's a rehearsal for the station pantomime.
I shouldn't think your department needs any rehearsal, do they?
I don't know. Sergeant Penny with his ruler. Make a nice fairy godmother.
Right. Is that all in order?
Come on, Gov.
Why don't you go home, Ted? What are you hanging about for?
Because the governor said so, that's why. It's all right for you, you're on lates anyway. Oh, my Lindy'll give me hell. Bet those lamb chops are knocking on the oven door trying to get out. Ah.
You know how time flies. Which one of you's on tonight?
He is.
I am. OK, Ted, you can go.
Not if I'm going to miss anything important, I'm not.
Well, all I want is some urgent phone calls for the time being. Mike can do that, it's no problem.
Oh, I don't mind staying on for another hour, Gov. Honestly.
What about your lamb chops?
Well, another hour's not going to make too much difference now, is it?
All right, you can do the calls between you. Now, this is what I want to stand by for tomorrow. Don't ask me where I went, because you're wasting your breath. I want a couple of drugs dogs, but I don't want anybody else to know about that for the time being, OK?
OK.
2 nondescript vans, 1 with ladders. The ladders are for use, not for show. I need about 10 lads from the crime squad. No, make that 20. And remember, don't mention to them about the drugs dogs, OK? Some lamps, sledgehammers, crowbars. I think that's about it for now.
What are we going to hit, Governor? Fort Knox?
Nice to see you, brother, man. Nice. Where you been, man? It's a long, long time I don't see you.
Well, I've been about, my friend, about. So wait, I still welcome on the street?
Sure. It's like time never passed.
Right. Can I go in, Jesse?
Sure, Tombo, sure. Never mind old Whitey. He mate everybody. He's a real mean man, you know. In you go, Tombo, in you go. All right. Be lucky, black brother, be lucky. Boy, it's a long time I don't see me now.
If West Ham does Spurs on Saturday, I'm going back to watching wrestling on the telly.
I didn't think there was much difference. Here's a man you want to speak to, Mr. Wilder Sport himself.
Morning, Hilda. Morning, Gov.
You don't support the Amiss, do you, Sergeant Penny?
Who else is there to support?
Oh, well, that's done me. I'm off.
You were early this morning, Gov?
Yeah. I'm waiting for a telephone call. What's your problem? Lost your ruler again?
No, Gov. Sergeant Cryer left a message. If you want him any earlier for this standby, he'll be at his mother-in-law's. Don't hesitate to ring, he said.
I bet he did.
So hang on.
Hang on. Yes? Good lad. I'll be in about 20 minutes, all right?
Do you want me to hold on or not?
Tell you what you can do. When the chief super gets in, ask him to arrange a briefing at 2:15 and you can answer Bob Cryer's SOS. Tell him to get here straight away.
Right, Gov.
On your marks, set.
Used to do a bit of this, didn't you?
Yeah. 800. You didn't know for sure, did you?
What? Deckers? Not 100%, no.
It was a good guess. You were right. It's where the street dealers collect their supplies. It's a distribution point. They're well organized.
How do you mean?
Man, they got real professionals backing them. People way up the line. Big time. Big business, big money. No. This is not your ordinary man in the street pushing bits here, bits there, right? This is the real McCoy. Straight. This firm's got outlets all over the country.
All right, all right. If it's as big as you say it is, perhaps I should hold off for a few days. Keep it under surveillance till the big one's there.
No, they might suss you out and then you lose them for good. Look, there was talk about the delivery maybe this afternoon. I mean, I could be wrong. They might have been talking about something else, but then you could be lucky.
What time?
You might be wrong.
What time? Come on, Tombo, you know.
All right. Hit him at 3, but it'll have to be well organized.
You leave that to me. I need you in there, though.
I was dreading you would say that. Look, they'd kill me if they ever found out, and that white brother is not a figure of speech.
Look, all you need to do is be in there when we hit the place. You'll be my eyes and my ears. Point me in the direction of the right place to look, right people to nick. No more.
Will I be arrested?
Of course.
Well, what then?
Well, my old son. Ever told you the story about the one that gets away? Ted? Has anyone arranged a briefing yet? Good. Now listen. I'm going straight to court to get a W. All right, be back about 11. No, look, make it after midday. And don't tell anybody anything. And I mean anything, all right? I'll see you.
Sarge?
There's a warrant outstanding on Maggie. Non-payment of fines. I've told the clerk.
But CRO didn't say anything about that.
Breakdown of communications this end. Tough. Hello, sir.
After a few cheap tins of salmon, are we, Bo?
Don't get anything cheap off me. Non-payment of fines, indeed. How the hell am I going to find 20 knicker? You know I haven't got that, don't you?
Well, pay him in salmon.
Tell him that, go on.
No, I'll tell him. Don't you worry.
Oh, Ackland, don't forget, plain clothes this afternoon, jeans, sweater, that sort of thing. All right, love?
Thanks.
Case number 3.
Who's on the bench?
Red mine.
Great.
I'm not going to send you to prison on this occasion, Mrs. Connolly. I feel it wouldn't serve any useful purpose. What I intend to do is to put this case back to later in the morning, so that you may have the opportunity to have a meaningful talk with the probation officer. This does not necessarily mean I'm going to place you on probation.
Oh, I've never had a probation. I've had a suspended and a condis, but I've never had a probation, Your Honour.
As I said, Mrs. Connolly, this doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to place you on probation. A lot will depend on you. You may step down.
Thank you, Your Honour.
Next case. Would you take an application for a search warrant, sir? Inspector Galloway.
Come forward, Inspector.
Siri.
Yeah.
Read aloud from the card, officer.
I swear by Almighty God that I will truthfully answer all such questions as the court may demand of me. Detective Inspector Roy Galloway, attached to Sunhill Police Station.
Is this your signature?
Yes?
And the information true to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Next case.
Case number 4, John Adams.
Come in. And about time, where the hell have you been?
Had a look running around to do and get me working togs on.
You get the warrant?
Yeah.
Good. You can give me the details as we go down to the briefing.
Is everyone here, do you know?
Everyone. I hope this is going to work, Roy. I'm going to have a lot of overtime to justify otherwise.
Yes, of course. I've rented my head overtime.
Inspector Galloway's given you your instructions. You all know what to do. I don't have to reiterate to you the importance of this operation. If it's successful, it'll be a considerable step forward in our campaign against drug abuse. Unfortunately, that in turn is going to create considerable publicity. Therefore, I must impress upon you all, I don't want any cock-ups, any calls for complaint. I want this operation carried out properly. And let me remind you, if there are no drugs found, there are no drugs found. Remember? Rules and regulations right on the line. Understand? Right. Anything you want to add?
Right. Deckers. When you go in, speed is the essence. When we come into this turning here, make no mistake, the word will be out. So, when I give the off, don't hesitate. Go. Any questions? Now, those of you with sledgehammers, crowbars, don't leave them behind in the rush from wherever you're staked out. I don't want any problems getting into this place, all right?
The lamps, I think you should mention them.
Yeah, the lamps. Bob, would you like to cover that? Sergeant Cryer is one of the few people who personally knows the layout of Deckers. He's been on 2 previous raids. Listen carefully to him.
And when they realise that we're going to hit the place, the first thing they're going to do is turn off the electricity at the mains. Now, when that happens, I want you to stand still until those in your group that have got lamps have switched them on. Now, there are no windows in those corridors, so it's going to be as black as hell. And we don't need hold-ups because of accidents. The most important thing is to get the light switch back on, and that is my job. So just make sure your groups have got lamps with them.
Any other questions?
You said we had an inside man, sir. How will we recognise him?
You won't. I don't want this person to receive any special treatment. Therefore, it's better that you don't know his or her identity. Right. That's it. You be lucky, all of you. See you on the plot. on, Mike. Stand back! Go on, Mike!
Take this with me.
It's the law! The law! They're on their way in. Mob-handed.
The lights. Stop off the lights.
Bob, get the lights on. Someone get an ambulance. Oh, Brill. What do we do now?
Jim! Get him!
You lost it. We could have done. It's got to be around here somewhere. That's him.
Oh, bloody hell, diplomatic plates.
Tom, bring him in here. Let him at least see what he's going to be nicked for.
Whatever it is, it's got nothing to do with me. I've never seen it before.
It's got to be worth thousands. Go on, put it on the end of your tongue. That was balmy as that lot in the upper circle. Come on, get them back to the nick. Make sure they're in a separate cell. I don't want them talking to the others, Tom. Look after that, my son.
Who's got the keys to the panda?
How's your man? One that's been stabbed?
I don't know, he's breathing, luckily.
In your inside, man? Look, I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm going to round them all up, get them in there and do the searching in there, right?
Yeah, well, they've probably got rid of everything by now. Get your lot to search them thoroughly, I want to make sure, and ship them back to the nick.
Yeah, take some time. Take more than a few trips.
So it takes more than a few trips?
I think he's all right.
What hospital are you taking him to?
St. Agnes. You don't know who he is, do you, sir?
No. I've never seen him before.
Listen, what do you want me to do?
Sir.
I want you to make sure. Hold on a minute. Ellis, come here. I want you to go in there and stand in front of the heroine. Don't let anybody touch anything, nor that fridge. Go to it, lad.
Sir, it's very important.
Ted, I want the socko here and the photographer. Now, don't let the photographer take the pictures that he wants. Make him take the pictures that we want, and in colour. Bugger the expense, all right?
Yeah, OK, go.
What's your problem, Ackland?
Sir, Carver and Edwards have been in the air. Apparently they chased a man over the roof and tried to run him down in the car.
Did he get away?
Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell. Have you circulated the number?
No.
Well, circulate it then.
But, sir, the car's got diplomatic plates.
Ah, that's all in motion, Gov. Listen, I take it you want the soccer to continue packaging and labelling the exhibits, yeah?
Is he here yet? He's on his way. The weapons and things were found on the floor of the foyer. I want them photographed in situ first. Mike, you can help us sock out the package. And that's going to take a long time, but it's got to be done properly. All right, go. Ted? Yes, go. I want you to go back upstairs and start questioning everyone. See if we can find a witness to the stabbing. See what you can pick up information-wise about those bags of heroin, OK? I've got to get back to the nick urgently.
Leave it to me, go.
Mike, I also want you, before the sock out to come, to go around to everyone and tell them not a whisper about those diplomatic plates on the Mercedes. If I find anyone has leaked anything to the press, I'll be monument mining on A Division for the rest of their service, and that is a promise.
I'll do that now.
Oh, Ted! Yeah? Get someone to go up the hospital. Keep an eye on our stab victim, all right?
All right, go.
Smith!
Come on now. Ask your question.
Everything all right, Sergeant Penny?
All correct, sir.
Good. I'm just going down to the scene. If anything of importance crops up on this job, I'll tell the station officer you're available. Nothing to the press in the meantime, do you understand?
Right, sir.
Right.
Right. I'm going to sit up in my office and write out a full statement. Descriptions, everything.
Right from the beginning of the ring, sir?
Yeah, and don't leave anything out. Don't show it to anyone and don't talk to anyone about it either. Right.
Oh, Roy, I was just on my way down to see you.
Yeah, well, I was just on my way up to see you. We got trouble, an interesting development.
I know. I've had 2 national dailies on the phone already, telling me I've had a drugs raid. One insists that I've recovered £500,000 worth of heroin, that a man's been stabbed, and both are asking if it's true that an embassy car was involved.
What the bloody hell did they find that out?
I don't know! I think you better come up to my office. You better fill me in with the details before the commissioner rings.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, you don't want to swap places with this one, do you, Viv?
Not if it's the rubber glove job, I don't.
All right, cut the romance, you two, otherwise we'll be here all day.
Sarge, any more articles you want the Socko to package up in here?
Nothing. This lot have already dumped it out there, haven't they?
I think we ought to get the health inspector into this one, Sarge.
Mike, over here. No, you're not lying to me, are you? Just to save your own skin? Eh?
On my mother's grave. Honest. You have a Bible? Bring the Bible. You'll swear on it.
Yeah. Of course, you druggies, you're known for your truth and honesty, aren't you, eh? If you're lying to me, Mike, you look after this one. I'm going to go and phone the governor.
Sit down, Roy, for heaven's sake. We can't do anything till special branching day.
How long does it take to check an embassy car?
They're doing it right away.
Then why are we waiting? I could have got what information we wanted in seconds on the computer.
Roy, if this is an embassy car and not some figment of Edward's imagination because he and Carver lost their man, you have to realise that we are in a totally different ballgame. We have to adhere to the instructions there.
Come on, Gov, please. Edwards and Carver are not going to make this up.
What I'm saying, Roy, is if it's an embassy car, we have to abide by instructions. Now, I know that's going to be hard for you, Roy, difficult to understand.
They can stuff protocol. I'm not interested in diplomatic bureaucracy.
That's exactly what I mean.
Look, Gov, we could be so near to cracking this drugs business, and that's what we should be concentrating our efforts on, not hanging on the end of a phone at the whim of some civil servant.
Roy, I know how frustrated you feel, but it's out of our hands. What concerns me most at the moment, it should be concerning you, Roy, is Tombo Robertson.
He'll be all right.
I wish I had your confidence.
People like Tombo all survive.
What if he claims compensation from the Commissioner? Have you thought about that? I was against using outsiders right from the beginning, remember?
Never let me forget.
Chief Superintendent Brunner. Roach.
Yes, Ted?
I got a witness. That's the good news, Gov. The bad news is he won't give evidence, so it's got to be an in-confidence job. He says the man we're looking for is a well-dressed fella. It sounds a bit like the one that Carver described. Yeah, he's the supplier, the top man.
The man that gave you this information, are you sure you can't put pressure on him to give evidence?
Chief Superintendent Brunner, hello?
Keep at him. What about the stabbing?
Yes,
Does he know anything about that?
Yes, he does, yeah. Apparently the man got stabbed by Corcoran while he was trying to unbolt the door to let us in. Well, that's what it looks like. Governor, I take it that the fellow was your inside man, eh?
Keep your thoughts to yourself, my old son.
Yes, I've got that.
Listen,
Yes,
I've got to
understand.
go. Cheers.
Yes, right. The protocol department of the Foreign Office, but it's the Home Office will be in touch. Have you any idea how long that'll take? Yes, I understand. We'll wait for you to be in touch then. Simbula. It's a West African state. It's very delicate and very important.
Oh, hurry up.
Mickey, it's the last lot for transportation to the colonies.
Thanks, Dad. Don't go, Ellison, I want you. Let them take the prisoners back to the Nick. I want you and Hollis and a couple of the others to take the heroin back to the station and lock it up in the valuable store, okay? And Lytton, guard it with your life, eh? Sarge. Okay. Come on, Seagenberg, let's go.
And I can't even circulate a description of the man.
Not the description, not the car. As I said, Roy, it's a very delicate situation.
Well, I bloody well give up! Here we are on the verge of breaking an important drugs ring, a maybe once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I've got to consider the embarrassment it might cause some tin pot African state who happens to be in favour this week. Well, I'm not hanging round here waiting. There's a prisoner to be questioned about a stabbing, and I'm just in the mood to do it.
No, Roy! Close that door. I'm not having you question anybody until you've cooled down, and that is an order.
Do you want to take me off the case?
No, of course not. There's plenty of officers on this station quite capable of questioning Cochrane about the stabbing.
Then what do you want me to do? Sit down there and twiddle my thumbs?
No, I would suggest, Roy, that you go down to the hospital and see how Tombo Robertson is. That'll give you a chance to calm down a bit. I'll see you back here in an hour. By then we should be in a better position to know what steps we're going to take in this matter.
I can tell you now, we're going to lose this. Some mandarin in Whitehall's already made the decision.
Look, Roy! Roy, I'll do my best. I'm not entirely without clout. I promise you we won't come out of this completely empty-handed.
Sir?
What's happening, son?
He's in the operating theatre now, sir.
What's wrong with him?
Well, as far as I can tell, internal bleeding, but I don't know any more than that.
How long's he been in there?
I don't know. I wasn't allowed to stay with him. Oh, by the way, his correct name's Robertson. He lives on the Clearview estate. He gave a false name at first, but the doctor soon sorted him out.
Robertson,
Oh,
huh?
that's the doctor now, sir. Her name's Bison. Miss.
Dr. Bison, isn't it? Inspector Galloway, Sunnyhill Police Station. Coffee?
Yes. Thank you, Inspector.
About Robertson.
We lost him. He's dead, I'm afraid.
Sorry, do you want sugar?
No, thank you. There was nothing we could do. There were complications.
What do you mean, there was nothing you could do?
Well, we could have saved him in normal circumstances, but his inside was in such a state. His liver inflamed, completely out of proportion. An advanced form of serum hepatitis.
Hepatitis?
It's a common disease amongst drug addicts. It's usually transmitted by means of a contaminated syringe needle.
Robertson was an addict?
A registered drug addict for some years. He was weaned off heroin to methadone to other substitutes. Then, like many others, he went back to heroin. The clinic that was dealing with him lost contact about 12 months ago, which usually means he was back to buying it on the street. If we'd had his records from the beginning, we might just have saved him. But for some unknown reason, he gave a false name. Will you be informing next of kin? Inspector? Inspector?
Oh, sir, can I have a relief now for, grub?
One at a time. What do you think I am, a bloody robot? Let's have some quiet, please.
Hello? What's that, perspiration on your forehead?
How would you know?
Hey, look, I've got just a person here to make an old man very happy.
Oh, no.
Oh, well, if you're going to be like that, I'll come back later. I don't mind.
Salmon?
Yes, 3 tins.
All a mistake, I suppose.
Well, I wouldn't do it on purpose, would I?
Oh, what are we going to do with you, Maggie?
Well, you can start off by making me a nice cup of tea.
Got to hand it to her, Sarge. She knows how to choose the right moment.
Yeah, but she's going inside this time.
What's your first?
Holloway bound are, Maggie. And the irony is that this lot here will probably get a pound out of the poor box and tell her to bugger off. Not to be naughty little girls again.
That's justice for you, eh, Sarge?
Oh, Roy,
Ah, I've done that statement for you, sir.
Come in. Hello, Roy. Come in. Close the door. Roy, can I introduce you to Mr. North from the Home Office, Detective Inspector Galloway. How do you do? And Mr. Gilmoko from the Somalian Embassy.
Pleased to meet you.
Have a seat. Scotch? Roy, Mr. Gilmoko's kindly furnished us with the information we need to crack this case. We now have a complete picture. And it's a very interesting one.
Perhaps it would be more expedient if Mr. Gilmoko explained to the inspector.
Thank you. Inspector, one of our embassy officials, a junior embassy official I might add.
Who will remain nameless.
Quite so. Has been under close scrutiny for some time, suspected of bringing large quantities of heroin into Britain through the diplomatic bag. His motive at first was not clear and rather puzzling.
There were sinister connotations, Inspector. Security was, of course, the embassy's prime concern. Still is.
We thought it prudent to allow him to continue so that we could have a clear understanding.
Inspector Galloway fully understands your position.
Perhaps you should come straight to the point, Mr. Gilmoko.
Yes. Our man, Inspector, was being blackmailed by a Mr. Gavin. Some indiscretion concerning a young boy. The price for Gavin's silence was smuggling heroin into Britain.
How long have you known about this blackmail?
Only since the Foreign Office informed us that our embassy car was involved.
I've checked up on Gavin, Roy. He's been involved in blackmail before. He's also known to the drug squad at the Yard. An international dealer, they told me.
My official informs me that the arrangement was always the same. He would put the suitcase containing the heroin into the embassy car and drive to a rendezvous, usually a public car park. Gavin would then use the embassy car to make his deliveries.
I mean, who'd think of stopping a car with diplomatic plates?
Indeed.
Why are you telling me all this?
So that you would understand.
Understand what?
That the embassy official concerned will be claiming diplomatic immunity. He will be recalled.
And go free.
Roy.
No. He will be severely punished on his return to Simbula. That I can promise you, Inspector.
Inspector Galloway, Mr. Gilmoko has gone out of his way to give you this information. It shows a cooperation between our two countries to stamp out the illegal traffic in heroin. Simbula does not wish to become a point in a new golden triangle.
I see. What about Gavin?
Mr. Brownlow tells me you have an inside man. I don't have to tell you your job, Inspector, but surely if this man is as good as Mr. Brownlow says, he'll have no trouble infiltrating any new drugs ring Gavin may set up.
And you think it'd be that easy?
Well, I think a substantial reward would be an incentive, don't you, Inspector? Something could be arranged. Within reason, of course.
May I say something, sir?
Yes, of course.
I'm sorry, but I may be out of order, you see. Out there are parents at their wits' end, unable to do anything, pouring their hearts out to me, wanting to know what I'm doing about the heroin flooding onto their estate, killing their kids. And I've got to sit here listening to you talking about this job as if it's an embarrassment of some foreign embassy. Gentlemen, there's an epidemic out there!
I'm sorry, Inspector.
You can assure me of nothing, Mr. North. You should be in here representing us, making the noises I'm making, not sitting there wet-nursing Mr. Gilmoko. This is a Home Office problem and nothing to do with any foreign embassy. The problem's here at home, on this patch.
Inspector, my department is deeply concerned about heroin abuse. There is, in fact, at this very moment, a Home Office minister heading a government working party looking into this tragic problem. But this particular matter is something entirely different. There are underlying complications which I cannot talk about, matters of which I cannot speak. I was hoping you would understand, Mr. Galloway.
I understand, all right. Only you try telling them parents out there, see if they understand.
Roy, I think you've said enough. You've made your point.
Just bear with me a little longer, sir. A few moments ago, Mr. North, you tried to tell me how to do my job. Well, let me tell you, I'll crack this case with or without the embassy's help. I'll get the evidence to convict Gavin. It may take me a little longer, but I'll be there. Oh, and, by the way, my inside man, for your information, was one of those parents. He's dead. He died trying to help us pull off this job. But then, you wouldn't understand about that, would you? Good day, gentlemen.